नहीं वो तो काम करेगा ही, लेकिन 6 people in देखिए 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 Shrija, you are not audible to us.
Yes, ma'am.
So, have you started reading? Will
No,
anyone?
ma'am.
Okay, you don't have your book.
Ma'am, I have my book, ma'am. I can read.
Okay, then start. I'm waiting.
Uh, Dash or ride a bike instead of asking for a ride. Walk. B. Don't litter. Put your rubbish in the bins provided. C. Save newspapers for recycling. Use both sides of your writing and drawing paper. E.
Yeah.
Be sure to turn off all water taps tightly. When you leave your room, be sure to switch off the lights.
Switch
G.
off the light, no?
Yes, ma'am. Don't let the taps run when you brush your teeth. H. Don't throw rubbish down the toilet. I. Use reusable cups and plates instead of paper ones. J. Plant 3.
Good. Now, reading of cherry tree. Wait, just let me see any question is there. Okay, I think your homework, your subject, Puna ma'am will be uh, giving you. But here one thing is friend of Earth Club project. One project is also so. Okay, I think you should talk to your subject teacher. Now, reading of cherry tree, the cherry tree. It is in page number 88. Is it it? Who will read?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Aditya
Ma'am,
Hansraj wants. Okay,
ma'am, I
let
read first.
you also want. Okay, Shrija, first let Aditya Hansraj read for one paragraph. Then you will read. Okay. Then Priyam Raj.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
One day, the the cherry tree, page number 88. One day, when Rakesh was 6, he walked home from the Masuri Bazaar eating cherries. They were a little sweet, a little sour, small, bright red cherries, which had come all the way from the Kashmir Valley.
Good. So, do you feel anything to explain in this? We are going to read something about the cherry tree. And how old was Rakesh?
6.
6.
6 years
6
old.
years.
Huh. And he was uh, what place? It here it has been mentioned. Masuri
Masuri.
Bazaar. Yeah.
Masuri Bazaar.
He was,
Masuri.
returning from Masuri Bazaar and he was eating cherries.
Cherries.
Yes. Now, Srija, you start reading.
Ma'am, can I read?
Actually, first I told Srija, then I have told someone else. Priyam.
Priya ma'am.
Ha.
Priyam.
After Priyam, Janvi, you will read. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Here in the Himalayan foothills where Rakesh lived, there were not many fruit trees. The soil was stony, and the dry cold winds stunted the growth of most plants. But on the more sheltered slopes, there were forests of oak and deodar.
Where did Rakesh live?
Himalayan foothills.
Yes.
Himalayan food.
Himalayan foothills.
Was
Himalaya.
Was the area good for plantation?
No, ma'am.
No,
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
the area was not good for
Stony.
yeah, it was stony. And
Sony.
forest where forest was there, and forest of oak and deodar. Okay, next.
Rakesh lived with his grandfather on the outskirts of Mussoorie, just where the forest began. His father and mother lived in small village 15 miles away, where they grew maize and rice and barley in narrow, a terraced field on lower slopes of mountain. But there were no school in village, and Rakesh's parents were knew that he should go to school as soon as they was of school going age. They sent him to stay with his grandfather in Missouri.
Okay. Why was Rakesh sent to Missouri? His parents were not living over there. So why was he sent? Who will answer? Rakesh lived with his grandfather.
Rakesh.
Huh? Rakesh didn't live with his father and mother. Where did his father and mother live?
Yes, ma'am.
Live. Where did his hmm. Actually, connectivity is not good over here. So who will answer? Where did Rakesh father and mother live?
Ma'am, in a small
In a
village.
small village
Ma'am, in a
50
small
miles
village.
away from the Hi- Himalaya foothills.
Yeah. And why couldn't Rakesh live there? Live with them?
Because there was no school in the village and Rakesh's parents were knew
Village
that
in
he
the
should go to school.
no schools in the village, and
Yeah.
Rakesh's parents were knew that he should go to school.
Yeah. So this was the reason Rakesh was sent to his grandfather in Missouri. Okay, next.
Yes, ma'am. Our grandfather was a retired forest ranger. He had a little cottage outside the town. Rakesh was on his way home from school when he brought the cherries. He paid 50 paise for the bunch. It took him about half an hour to walk home, and by the time he reached the cottage, there were only 3 cherries left.
Yes. So we are going to read something about cherry tree, and Rakesh will, I think, Pavni Patel.
Ma'am, can I
Pavni
Can
Patel
I?
wanted. Okay, first let Pavni Patel read.
have a cherry grandfather? He said as soon as he saw his grandfather in the garden. Grandfather took one cherry and Rakesh promptly ate the other two. He kept the last seed in his mouth for some time, rolling it round and round until all the tang had gone. Then he placed the seed on the palm of his hand and studied it.
Good. What
Are
happened?
cherry seeds lucky? asked
Yes, start.
Rakesh. Of course. Then I'll keep it. Nothing is lucky if you put it away. If you want luck, you must put it to some use. What can I do with a seed? Plant it. So Rakesh found a small spade and began to dig up a flower bed. Hey,
Next.
not
Okay, okay. So, what did his grandfather teach him about luck?
Ma'am, that nothing was lucky
Nothing is
Cherry
lucky if
seed.
you
ma'am, that
put
nothing
that
is lucky if you put it away.
Yeah, if it is not in use, it's not going to give you any good luck. So, if you make use of it, you will be getting good luck. So, how to get good luck? Um, what was his grandfather's suggestion? about cherry seeds.
To plant
Plant
it.
the seed. To
To
plant the
plant
seed.
the
To plant the seed.
yes, to plant the seed. Very good. To plant the seed. And Rakesh started Rakesh started working on the suggestion of his
Ma'am,
grandfather.
please see waiting room.
Okay. Actually, I have done in. Thanks for reminding me. Actually, I have set on a speaker's view, so I couldn't see. And now I allowed everyone to join. Okay. Next, so he started digging the earth to sow the seeds. Next, who will? Shreyas.
Ma'am, can I?
Shreyas wanted, na?
Ma'am, can I?
Shreyas or Ayush? Ayush told. Who
Ma'am, I
wants?
want to.
I
Ma'am,
means
Ayush.
Ayush. Okay, start.
So Rakesh found a small spade and began to dig up a flower bed. Hey, not there, said grandfather. I have sown mustard in that bed. Plant it in that shady corner where it won't be disturbed. Rakesh went to a corner of the garden where the earth was soft and yielding. He did not have to dig. He pressed the seed into the soil with his thumb and it went right in. Then he had his lunch and ran off to play cricket with his friends and forgot all about the cherry seed. A few months later, one morning in the garden, Rakesh bent to pick up what he thought was a small
Twig.
and found to his surprise that it was well rooted. He, he stared at it for a moment, then ran to fetch grandfather, calling, Dada, come and look. That is a cherry tree, asked grandfather, who had forgotten about it. The seed was planted last year. Look, it's come up.
Okay. So, how long it took to grow the seed?
1 year.
1 year.
1 year.
Yes.
1 year.
1 year.
And what was good about it? That it was kept in the place where it could not be disturbed. Uh, Rakesh was planting it at some other place where there was a doubt of being disturbed. If it had been disturbed by that time, it had been very difficult to grow the to turn the seed into sapling. It was kept untouched, undisturbed, and it took so many months to grow. And he was very much surprised to see if you plant something and if you see that it's growing. Have you experienced this type of uh, emotion? Have you planted any tree, any seed? Have you sown? Do you love plantation or not? So just plant something and see the growth.
Yes, ma'am.
It's good for nature also, it's good for you also because it will be helping you in giving fresh air and it will give you immense pleasure. And so they were very happy. Now who will start reading? No one. Aditi.
Ma'am,
Once
can I read?
Garima. Okay, start.
Yes, ma'am. Rakesh went on
on his haunches while grandfather bent almost double and peered down at the tiny cherry tree. Cherry, said grandfather.
I'm not getting you.
You should walk rather than go to bed, said grandfather. Rakesh gave it a sprinkling and some pebbles. What are the pebbles for? Asked grandfather. For privacy, said Rakesh.
So now Rakesh started taking care of it. Earlier, he was not, he had almost forgotten. So he was not giving any care. Now he felt very happy and now he started giving proper care. Next, who will? Who will read next? No one wants. Divya, start.
Srija.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
He
start.
looked at the He looked at the tree every morning, but it did not seem to be growing very fast. So he stopped looking at it, except quickly, out of the corner of his eyes. And after a week or two, when he allowed himself to look at it properly, he found that it had grown at least an inch. That year, the monsoon rains came yearly, and the cherry tree grew quickly in this season. It was about 2 feet high when a goat entered the garden and ate all the leaves. Only the main stem and two thin branches remained. Never mind, said grandfather, seeing that Rakesh was upset. It will grow again. Cherry trees are tall.
So, how was the growth? Was the growth fast?
Slow,
It was.
gradual.
The growth was slow.
Growth was slow.
It was slow.
Yes, Srija wanted to read, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Continue.
Towards the end of the rainy season, new leaves appeared on the tree. The woman tumbled down the hillside, her scythe swishing through the heavy monsoon foliage. She did not try to avoid the tree. One sweep, and the tree was cut in two. When grandfather saw what had happened, he went after the woman and scolded her, but the damage could not be repaired.
So, what happened? Something went wrong to the cherry plant?
Ma'am, can I read?
Mm. First, we need to explain that paragraph that Shrija has read. After that, Pavni will
And can
read. After Pavni, Aditya Hansraj asks. Okay. After Pavni, Aditya Hansraj will read. So, Rak-
क्या कोई
अभी तो रहा है
हेलो
एक मिनट हम चेक कर एक इंदु मैम क्लास चल रहा है नहीं होस्ट तो हम ही हैं tree it was damaged by a lady but still it continued and it started growing also new suits 2 years but 2 years it took and still it was not a very big tree it was still small, struggling to survive. Actually, the tree was struggling to survive. Next, who will read?
Ma'am Pavni.
Okay, start.
Even when there was rain, Rakesh would sometimes water the tree. He wanted it to know that he was there. One day, he found a bright green praying mantis perched on a branch, peering at him with bulging eyes. Rakesh let it remain there. It was the cherry tree's first visitor. The next visitor was a hairy caterpillar who started making a meal of the leaves. Rakesh removed it quickly and dropped it on a heap of dry leaves. "They're pretty leaves," said Rakesh, "and they are always ready to dance if there's a breeze." After grandfather had come indoors, Rakesh went into the garden and lay down on the grass beneath the tree. He gazed up through the leaves at the great blue sky, and turning on his side, he could see the mountain striding away into the clouds. He was still lying beneath the tree when the evening shadows crept across the garden. Grandfather came back and sat down beside Rakesh, and they waited in silence until the stars came out and the night jar began to call. In the forest below, the crickets and cicadas began tuning up, and suddenly the tree was full of the sound of insects.
Means, what does it show? Last paragraph.
There,
Was the tree grown?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And who was sitting under the tree? Rakesh. Was,
Rakesh.
yeah, he was feeling very
Rakesh.
happy. And after that, grandfather also came. He joined. And how long they remained there? Till
Ma'am, till
night.
morning to yes,
Morning
ma'am.
to
From
night.
morning.
To night. When night approaches, here it is never nowhere it is written that night approached. But just see how uh, the writer has explained. Grandfather came back and sat down beside Rakesh, and they waited in silence until the stars came out and the nightjar began to call. In the forest below, the crickets and cicadas began tuning up. Suddenly, the tree was full of sound of insects. When insects come on trees, when
Yes,
night
ma'am.
approaches, you might have heard your parents telling that we should not go near the trees and plants in night time. During night time, they tell not to pluck any flower, leaves, or anything.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one last
Yes, ma'am.
paragraph is left, and 1 minute is left. Just read it, we will conclude.
there are so many trees in the
There
forest.
are
There are so many trees in
What's
the
the
Pavni
forest.
started,
So many trees in the forest.
Pavni started first, so let her continue. Pavni, continue.
there are so There are so many trees in the forest, said Rakesh. What's so special about this tree? Why do we like it so much? We planted it ourselves, said grandfather. That's why it's special. Just one small seed, said Rakesh, and he touched the smooth bark of the tree that had grown. He ran his hand along the trunk of the tree and put his finger to the tip of a leaf. "I wonder," he whispered, "is this what it feels to be God?"
So he felt very happy to see the growth of the tree. And okay, time is also over. So I'm meeting will be ended anytime.